Saskatchewan, Manitoba. Hey, welcome, one Manitoban. Oh, him too. What, you're just embarrassed? You're gonna really... Oh, no, you're not. Sorry. Soon. Give it another year, then you'll be from Halifax. How about the territories? Never is. Quebec. Well, sure. Be on the news. That's about all I can say. You're welcome. Right, fine. Ontario. Welcome to Citadel Hill. This has long been said on the Harbour to be the second most visited National Historic Site in Canada, but that's not true. We fact-checked that this year. It's not, it's the 6th. Welcome to the 6th most visited National Historic Site in Canada. Any East Coasters on board? I didn't ask them. Hey guys, happy to have you. I know you've got Cape Breton. Awesome, fantastic. A couple of defenses on top of Fort George. First of all, the Pit of Death. Just kidding, it's a dry ditch. Pit of Death sounded more fun. The idea was, back in the day, before any guardrails or fences were here, we'd let the grass grow super tall. You'd likely, if you were brave enough to run directly up the hill, you'd likely miss the ditch and fall right in. At that point, the British military would throw a lovely welcome party for you. It would also be your going away party, 2 in 1. They were super efficient like that. You'll also notice we're driving in a really strange formation. That's not because Captain Kristen is mad that I made fun of her hopper. It's because we're in a bastion formation. That's an 8-pointed star. That allows for gunfire from at least 2 different points on all sides of the hill. It also makes my life a lot more fun. I get to figure out how to work with these little turds here. Incredible core strength. Now, with all these defenses, we were really prepared for an attack. I'm sure somebody here knows how many times we were attacked. Do you? Anybody? Yeah, you're right. We were never attacked. Nobody wanted us. What were we thinking? We were a little overzealous with our preparation for war. Yeah, it could have had something to do with our weather. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but in June, we got some massive wildfires. Not common to this area at all. And then in July, we had massive floods. What will it be this month? If somebody yells cicadas at me one more time on tour, I'll lose my mind. Let's not manifest that. Don't put it out into the universe. I've never seen a cicada once in my life. I'd like to keep it that way. Anyway. Rude, whoever that was. Can't even see. Hey, maybe it'll be frogs next, you know? You never know. Despite us never being attacked, we were conquered one time. A woman, she was from Ontario. Shocker. She was having some fun downtown. I mean, when in Rome, right? It was her birthday, to be fair. She decided to come up here to Fort George, sneak behind the guards, pull down the Union Jack that's usually on the flagpole behind us there, and then she put up her own flag. Her flag had 2 martini glasses on it, known as the gin pennant. If you're familiar with sailing, that flag's often risen above a ship as a prank. It signifies that the bar is open and drinks are free. I find this hilarious. The people up here at Fort George didn't appreciate it nearly as much. They very promptly banned her from the fort for life, banned her from the province for 10 years, and then almost tried her for treason. This was in 2006. Don't mess with Fort George. We've been prepared to defend ourselves for over 200 years. We're a little bitter that nobody wanted us. We might just try you for treason over it. Yeah, one of my favorite traditions up here on Citadel Hill is the noonday gun. Every day at 12 o'clock noon, we fire off a blade cannon, just to let you know that it's noon. It's effective, right? Used to be used to set pocket watches. Now half of us don't even use analog clock. Including myself. I still have to count by 5s. That was my education. Early to ride unimpeded. Very helpful during prom season. As we come up to the front of the gardens, you'll see these beautiful wrought iron gates we have here. They first belonged to a garden in Scotland, but that garden went bankrupt. And here in Halifax, we were like, hey, Scotland. So sorry to hear about your garden. You gonna use those gates for anything now, though? Or are they just gonna sit there? Because we'd love to have them. And there they are. Yeah. Pays to be New Scotland, right? We get their hand-me-downs. They may seem a little redundant because they're never open. That's because they only open for members of the royal family. For example, one of the last times they were open was when Princess Diana was in town. You know, with the other guy. I said that joke with 8 British people on my tour today. It was risky, but it worked. It was fine. They forgave me. Welcome to Spring Garden Road. This is the busiest pedestrian street east of Montreal and north of Boston. Anybody know what else is east of Montreal and north of Boston? Nothing. Nothing at all. But we'll take it. This is your home for restaurants, shopping, bars, anything you can imagine. You can do it right here on Spring Garden Road. Park Lane Mall is one of the 2 shopping malls we have on this street. Big Dollarama and a movie theater, practically the Eaton Center. Yeah. As we're driving around the streets of Halifax, you'll notice that the people on the streets, they love us. The cars, not so much. That's not our problem. They don't like us because we only go 25 kilometers an hour. Not my problem, like I said. But for the pedestrians, feel free to wave, blow kisses, smile, say hello. Don't be offended if they don't wave back, though. Some people are from Toronto. They can't help it. They come by it honestly. Not from Toronto. God, I can't help who think that. It's pretty great. I make fun of Ontario. There's a couple of reasons why. 1, I spent 15 years there. I've earned my stripes. 2, you're the only province we can openly make fun of on these tours, and you guys are like self-aware enough where you're like, nah, it's fine. It's no big deal. Like, you guys get it. You're like, we're still the center of the universe. It's no big deal. Yeah, exactly. We're still the only province in the country of Canada ever to exist. Ontario. Coming up on our right-hand side, oh my gosh, look, it's the new Halifax Library, one of the most eco-friendly buildings in North America, and it's got some pretty cool architecture, shaped to look like a stack of books. Yeah, not the tallest building in the city, but it certainly has the most stories. Oh, they get worse. They get worse. Just you wait. Save those. Oh, it's for later. Over to our left-hand side, the old Halifax Memorial Library. Why is it still there? Good question. It's because it's illegal to tear it down. Yeah, it actually sits on top of a mass grave that spans all the way from that lawn. Like this hopper. Down the street to the old burial ground behind us, right here. Yeah, about 12,000 bodies are buried. We'll come back to that old burial ground right here, but real quick, St. Mary's Basilica on your left-hand side. Beautiful church. That church is the tallest freestanding granite spire in North America. Fun fact, it's the church my mother almost got married in. Till she called the wedding before. It's okay, you can laugh. It's okay that she was a runaway bride. Because I wouldn't be here otherwise to tell you that story in front of the entire city. Every single day. Multiple times a day. She's very proud. All she asked was that I not tell that story while she was on tour, so I didn't. But I did tell it when my father was on tour, and it was just as good. She actually married him, though. It's a little different. What I'm waiting for is the guy that she didn't end up marrying to come on one of my tours and be like, that story sounds familiar. And I'll be like, oops. Nice to meet you. You were almost my father. But you weren't. Anyway, a little bit of lore about my mother. You noticed, but England and Baltimore are very far away from each other. And well, as his men were standing around there following the coast, right? I heard it was Halifax's first full-body run. Must have made a stiff drink. Yeah, I heard the hangover was deadly, but at least drinks were on Robert that night. I even heard he took the first shot. If you counted, that was 5 Robert Ross.